Hey guys, OgreBarberian here, and we're back for another in-depth look. This time, we are going to take a look at the new reworked Dr. Poison. Now, first thing first, I want to point out that she actually is now my strongest character. She shot up 400 points with this rework from where she was. She's 240 ahead of Constantine, who was my strongest. So, yeah, sorry, I had to set up all the announcements and everything. But anyway, Dr. Poison shot up a lot, so... Hey, Hollywood! What's up? So, yeah, Dr. Poison got a lot stronger with this rework, so it'll be interesting to see. Let's take a look at everything with her. So, gear set didn't change. She's still a special striker. Now she's got 2560 intelligence total at level 70, gear 11, L3. So, that's a lot. Still kind of squishy. Still a little bit slow, but not terribly. Oh, nice. Double stream power! Oh, no. Oh, we're crossing the streams. What? You're not supposed to do that. Bad things are going to happen.
Ghostbusters reference?
Yes. Ghostbusters reference.
Does things like maneuvering.
Alright, so she's got the 97 speed. She doesn't have a huge crit chance. She's got 35. Does have okay, decent damage. 228.
Crossing streams. Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Let's say hi. Mrs. Ogre has the loveliness of being in a boot right now because she decided to twist her ankle on Tuesday night.
Tore up her left leg.
Tore up her left leg on the other side. Luckily, our daughter is fine.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see the Supergirl rework. We'll touch on her a little bit too. Just maybe not in this this stream. This one's more focused on Dr. Poison.
I think it's blah.
I'm going to point out a few things that you're going to all of a sudden be like, oh, whoa. I'm going to go to Supergirl and point out some things, and you're going to be like, wait, what? But let's go over Dr. Poison's kit real quick now that we've seen her gear set and everything. So, Virulence is her basic attack, special damage, and apply 3 bleeds to an enemy. So this was changed. It used to be apply bleeds to random target if there was bleeds on the target. Now it just base applies 3 bleeds, which is really nice, and then the random is only 1 instead of all 3. So you can actually apply up to 4 bleeds with this now, so that's actually really, really cool. And then, of course, the legendary upgrade is probably the best one you can get, because it's a very unique upgrade, and it gives the bleeds on the target an additional duration of 1. So it's very powerful. You're going to want that as your first upgrade, most likely, because just being able to increase the duration of bleeds is just absolutely monstrous. It's a great way to stack them on tanks when you're trying to wear them out at the end of a fight. You know, because tanks are just really good at this makes Dr. Poison really good at countering Bane, because she'll be able to stack the bleeds basically indefinitely, and it doesn't matter how many mens he would gain, because she's actually increasing the duration of the bleeds that are already there. So the bleeds are going to last longer than those mens, and eventually they will catch up to him. So great way to counter characters that gain a lot of shield or have a lot of mens or something like that. If they're not indefinite, well, Dr. Poison's going to win. So, alright, second ability is Anti-Venom. Heal all allies, additional 2% true heal per bleed on enemy team to a maximum of 20%. So this one really didn't change a whole lot. And the legendary upgrade is cooldown -1. Again, this didn't change. This move has a 3-turn cooldown. So getting the -1 cooldown is actually pretty cool. So I used to have it, although at this point now with the new upgrades, I'm debating on whether or not I actually want to take it anymore. So, and then we have Gas Grenade, which is her AoE. Apply 1 bleed to all enemies, 10% true damage to enemy team. Additional light special damage to enemy team per bleed on enemy team. So, It's cool if there's a bunch of bleeds, but if not, you're still doing a bunch of true damage and some light special damage to him. So, I mean, it does decent damage. It's not great, but the true damage does help, especially if she has a ton of intelligence downs from like a Constantine or something like that. She can still get that true damage through. And again, bleeds are basically true damage as well. So you're looking at the 10 from the attack plus, I believe these have a 3-turn duration or something like that. But each tick is 3% more true damage. So I mean, you're looking at decent damage overall. Like 16% true damage is nothing to scoff at. 19% true damage, just depending on, you know, how it all works out.
Super ogre.
Super ogre. Yeah. And then the upgrade for this is apply 2 heal immunities to random enemies.
Right now.
You're just armored.
I'm going into battle.
Oh no. Looks like you got out of battle. That's the problem. Oh, and then when she sprained her ankle, I was helping her into the house, and I went to pick her up, and she started squirming, so I pinched my sciatic, so I was down for 2 days too.
You're still kind of down.
I'm still kind of down, but I'm getting a lot better. So, but anyway, two heal immunities at random enemies is pretty powerful on an AOE. One thing to note is that these heal immunities aren't necessarily going to land on different targets. They can land on the same target. So you could stack 2 heal immunities on one target, and then, you know, so it depends.
I sound better?
She's fine as far as that. She twisted her ankle.
I think I was sick last time.
Were you sick last time?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
At least I think the last time he was on.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, I'm not sick anymore. I'm just beat to hell.
Yeah, she tripped, fell, sprained her ankle, tore up her knee, and
hey, I had to protect
pinched
the
my
baby.
sciatic nerve, and yeah, the baby's fine. That's important. That's the important part.
Like when I fell, she was in my arms, and yeah, it was bad. I kind of had to do like a cocoon thing.
Well, that's what mothers do.
I don't even know how I did it. My body just reacted.
Well, that's what happens. You just react. You don't know.
She got one teeny tiny scratch on her ankle.
Moving on, we've got Dr. Poison's first passive. I say first because it was her only passive before, and now she has 2 passives. Master of Poisons and Master of Antidotes. Oh. And as you can see, I unfortunately was a few hook rings short on bringing Master of Antidotes all the way up. But Master of Poisons, at the end of her turn, so this is actually different. It used to be the beginning of her turn. So now it's at the end of her turn, so she'll actually be able to apply the bleeds and then trigger this, which is actually a lot of improvement right there in itself. Just that little bit of a wording change and when it triggers makes it a lot more powerful. So don't underestimate this passive. It may look weak just because of the take 1% true damage, but it's per bleed. She didn't have a 5th ability before. They added it. It was a double passive on her Master of Poison. So they have added Master of Antidotes. Completely new ability. That's why I had to upgrade it. But anyway, 61% chance for all enemies to take 1% true damage per bleed on the enemy team, max 30%. Now, again, keep in mind, it's not terribly hard to stack that many bleeds when you're using other bleed characters, but if it's just Dr. Poison, her basic attack still applies 4 bleeds, like, constantly. So, I mean, and the gas grenade also applies 4 bleeds. So, I mean, you can get a decent chunk of damage out of this pretty quickly, as long as it procs. And 61%, you're going to get it more often than not. So, I mean, it's definitely worth the upgrade. And then the legendary for this is very much the same as it was before. Maybe a little bit different, but not a ton. Also apply 1 bleed to random enemy, which is what it was before. And then it had a secondary part to increase the maximum true damage possible, but now it's raised to 45%. So instead of 30%, you have a maximum of 45%. So if you have 45 bleeds on the enemy team, they could take 45% true damage each. Keep that in mind. Let that sink in. I don't care how much HP they have, they're taking true damage. They could have 1,000,000 stamina ups, have 10 million HP. They're still taking the true damage. 45%.
Does that get around how like Clayface's ability is? Like how it's like hard for him to die?
I don't know how it's going to interact with that. It probably doesn't, because Clayface just cheats death. That's something else. No, only two people cheat death. Clayface and Catwoman. That's it. They're the only ones that don't die and try to heal themselves.
Okay. But what about those who...
The ones who revive, it's different. They die. There's only 4 of those. 5, technically, if you count White Lantern Sinestro. He has a passive that he lets everybody revive.
Like small things?
No. If he's alive and somebody dies, they have a chance to revive. He gives everybody the revive chance. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Back to focus. Master of Antidotes. This is her new ability, and this one is at the beginning of her turn. 55% chance to light heal all allies. And this does go up to 61. Again, I ran out of rings to try and get the last couple. I had the death rings, I just don't have the hope rings. I only had 15 saved up. I was hoping to have enough, but unfortunately the event is tonight, so I'll get those tonight and finish her off and get the last few hope rings.
Do Siren.
We'll do the Siren Challenge, yeah. I'll be streaming tonight for the Siren Challenge if anybody wants to join me for that later tonight. I believe it'll be in about 11 hours, 11 and a half hours for that. But anyway, yes.
Supergirl's new basic can stop Clayface and...
Yes, and again, I'll go into Supergirl here in a second.
They can't stay alive.
Stop. I got it.
Oh, give me a freaking help.
Alyssa, chill out. Okay. So anyway, the legendary upgrade for this is if there are 6 or more bleeds on the enemy team, you double the amount you heal. So you turn that light heal into a medium heal, basically. That's actually, I think it's pretty good, but I want to see Master of Antidote and Master of Poison in action before I decide to upgrade those. I definitely still want the 2 heal immunities. And I'm wondering if Dr. Poison will get an event, a hero challenge next month. Not July, but the month after August.
You did that upgrade on purpose, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the second upgrade I'm taking.
Okay.
And then yeah. Anyway, so right now my debate is whether or not I want to do one of these or if I want to do that. Again, I want to see what Master of Antidotes looks like in use. And I want to see what Master of Poison looks like in use, because applying one bleed at random doesn't seem like a lot, but again, it's true damage, essentially, so, I mean, it works. So, but I definitely want those healing immunities.
But to be fair, I heard,
let's go ahead and take a look at Supergirl real quick.
Master of Antidotes.
Nope, that's Power Girl.
Wouldn't it also contribute to, like, say, if you had Chemo or Lobo's bleeds on?
Yeah, anybody's bleeds contribute to it.
Oh, then you're a happy camper. This is your
new
toy.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Heat Vision Sweep. Apply 1 crit chance down to all enemies and deal some damage. Apply 2 additional crit downs and heal immunity. That is insane. That heal immunity is insane.
Well then.
And because it's all enemies, that's insane. Like, this is going to be a great move. So, yeah, I mean, that was the main thing that we wanted to talk about there. And then also I wanted to talk about her leadership is now a passive. This is why you now take her. Her leadership is now a passive. She no longer requires the leadership slot to have the critical damage down. That is huge.
Is it really?
It is absolutely monstrous. And then again, she can also gain the strength ups off of her Save the Day, which is another passive, and it gains a bunch of turn meter anytime.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's mostly the same. Same as Dr. Poison. I mean, but I think, honestly, that one change, just making her leadership a passive, that is absolutely, hands down, the most crazy thing ever. Because now, all of a sudden, it's just like, what?
Damn, I thought it was a leader. That thinks OP.
I think he was trying to say OB.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to what we were here to do in the first place.
So do you think we'll be seeing more Supergirl and Dr. Poison in the meta now with the reworks?
Yeah, you gotta be careful when you read these things. I reread them a couple of times before I start talking about them. So this is a team that I've been kind of messing with in PvP once in a while. And I really think Dr. Poison shines in it. Yes, I did get Joker damage goods to the Legendary finally, and I even got him to Gear 10.
He went all out on Joker.
And I'm trying to get him to Gear 11 because he's one of those characters. I'm just going to point this out. 50% chance to deal additional light damage to random enemies. So, you have 50% chance to hit anybody. Anybody that's hit by it gets 3 bleeds. That's his basic attack. That's insane. I don't know why people don't like that. That's amazing.
Not a lot of people are all gung-ho about the bleeders like you.
Also, you see this, stun chance goes up to 100, and there's no condition.
I enjoy
It's literally just do some damage, stun them.
Yeah, I enjoy that one.
0 condition to it.
I don't care
it's
about
absolutely monstrous. Passive ability. He rips turn meter off of people. Up to 25%. Just when he takes his turn. I'm going to take my turn. You lose 25% turn meter. I don't like you. People can complain about him, but he has some really good upgrades. Also, if you got him to Legendary 2, purging 3 buffs from whatever target is hit by the minus 25% turn meter, that is insane. I'm trying to get to L2. I don't think I'm going to make it before the end of the month, obviously. It took me most of the month to get into the Legendary. So I don't think that I'm going to get Joker to Legendary 2, unfortunately, anytime soon. So I'm going to have to rely on Void Scans to get those last 120 shards or whatever where I'm at right now. But let's go ahead and get some PvP action in with Dr. Poison. And, see what she can do. This new Dr. Poison.
What was that challenge that was in the PvP thing? I didn't get to see that.
Oh, the new challenges?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Mystic Challenge, Nightwing Blitz, Villains Challenge, and another Nightwing.
So the Mystic one, you only have to use Mystics, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's not too bad.
Alright, so we have the absolutely tankiest team that I can think of as our first opponent. This works. This will hopefully show off what Dr. Poison do you do.
Oh, is that Ares?
Well, I don't know a lot of the details about the Teen Titan event, but hopefully...
What, there's a Teen Titan Hero Challenge?
It's not necessarily a hero challenge, it's a new event.
What?
It's a new event. Teen Titan event. It did not say hero challenge. People right now are talking on Discord and different things thinking that it might be Deathstroke shards, and I'm like, but that doesn't sound right. They would have called it a hero challenge for Deathstroke. But to be fair, he already had one.
Yeah, he already had one already.
So why would you do that again and then restrict the list to just Titans? They also said it was in honor of the movie. So I can see it doing a lot of different things. I don't know what exactly it's going to do, so let's...
If I can get Starfire shards through that, I'm going to be a happy freaking camper.
I don't know you're going to get Starfire, but...
Hey, one ogre can hope. I only have her to R4.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I want to freaking use her. But I can't use her right now.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Let's go ahead and change this team up a little bit.
Bye-bye, Lobo.
Let's get Aquaman in there. I like Aquaman. Yeah, White Lanterns and PvP packs now replace Deathstroke, and then World's Greatest Detective is back also. So actually, World's Greatest Detective replaced Deathstroke. White Lantern Sinestro replaced who was the Mystic that was in there?
Katana?
Might have been Katana. I don't know if it was Katana. I don't remember.
Has Raven been in there for a while or no?
Oh, it was Supergirl. You're right. There we go. I knew it was somebody. I want to bring Bizarro. Who do you guys want to see? Bizarro or Killer Croc? Let's bring Killer Croc. He actually is good.
Yeah.
I just got my Killer Croc to 11. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Don't really need to worry about Lobo reviving a ton of times because Dr. Poison got heal immunity. So let's see what we can do with this new Dr. Poison.
Have you done anything with your Dr. Fate?
Very little. He's not very good for me. I think I have him at gear 4, maybe 5, like level 50. Legendary 1. I haven't done a lot with him. So, yeah, clearly. Alright, let's do this. And this is why you bring Aquaman. So that you can start stacking these bleeds. It's fun. Alright, Croc's enraged.
I just want to make sure that I'm not in an infection or anything.
No, you're fine. We still got Bane stunned, so... Holy jeez, 20k to Ares, who also picks up both of the heal immunities. So, let's go ahead and slow these tankies down. Ares. I did. I just did.
Oh, you did?
That's what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and crit immunity up. And so, just something to point out, when I use the team-wide buff right there, Bane cannot trigger his passive because the attack from Aquaman was actually a passive attack. So, it doesn't actually